ladies and gentlemen, coming in hot here on the Switch It Up show. Gonna play a little bit with some of the levels for this music, but we are gonna turn it all the way up with not one but two reviews. My name is Glenn. I'm gonna be hosting this episode along with my wonderful friend, Mr. Seth Trav.
My guy, let me tell you what, today I am glad to be alive because I am bringing you our first review from the brand new PS5.
Oh, my man, it is a sore subject for me, so let's go ahead and get lost in these beats while I wallow in my sorrow. Anamanaguchi, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out the show notes for all the links to the wonderful tunes that are featured right here on the Switch It Up show. Now, because of my failure to secure a PS5, I need a little bit of distracting, a little something to relax me a little bit. So I got a little bit lost in Pure Pool, which is available now on the Nintendo eShop. It is rated E for everyone. You can go ahead and download that now. I'm going to get you, because it's important to me that you know the most accurate information. So I want to make sure I get you the perfect price point for this. It is $14.99, only available in the Nintendo eShop. Buy it digitally. Eligible for 75 golden coins. Or if you really Wonka, what is that? Golden tickets he's got in the candy bars?
Golden tickets, yeah.
Golden tickets. Enjoy the most realistic and immersive simulation of Q Sports on Nintendo Switch, with stunning 1080p visuals and more ways than ever to play pool and snooker. Q Sports have never looked so good on the Switch, whether you're playing docked or on the go. It features ultimate immersion. Immerse yourself in the stunningly realistic and endlessly enjoyable world of Pure Pool and rack up your favorite games of pool and snooker anywhere with absolutely no load times in getting in your way. There's some load times. I don't know about none. I think they're exaggerating there. More ways to play. Play hundreds of pool and snooker events across a wide range of competitive modes, including 8-ball, 9-ball, blackball, and killer. Whatever. Killer's I think knockout. Then challenge yourself in fast-paced modes like Speed Pot, Checkpoint, and Royal Rumble to rise up the global leaderboards and unlock new rewards. Play together, have fun with friends in multiplayer, games locally or online, and match up against players across the world in cross-network multiplayer matches. And even if you have friends left, you can play against a copy of their DNA offline, which is pretty weird. You play against their ghost, essentially. Take on the campaign mode and play your way to the top of the championships in 8-ball, 9-ball, blackball, and snooker again. Put your skills to the test in over 480 events as you duel a range of amateur, pro, and master AI opponents, and collect stars for completing extra challenges as you win your way to the top. It features precision control. Play your best shots quickly and easily every time you step up to the table with a range of options available. Choose from the all-new touchscreen controls, classic twin-stick Joy-Con controls, Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and even dual Joy-Con support for multiplayer matches from the wonderful people over at Vufu Studios. Available in a multitude of languages for 1 to 2 players. This came out right before Thanksgiving, and it's definitely something I had my eye on because I love pool. Pool is a good time, and I always measure up all of the pool games and stuff like that up to Yahoo Pool. Back in the day, I used to play all the Yahoo Pool. It was awesome.
On Flash? Like Yahoo Games?
Yahoo Games, my dude. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God.
I was in there playing them. Yo, it was...
You have a Y-mail?
Yeah, a Y-mail, my man. Yahoo Messenger, all that good stuff.
You're on Yahoo Messenger.
Dude. Yeah, you needed to. And, it was a good pool experience. But Pure Pool, Pure
Hustling.
Pool for the time, all right, for the time. But Pure Pool definitely succeeds Yahoo Pool in terms of its graphics and its control. The graphics in Pure Pool look great. It looks really, really good. The pool table is like super clean. The whole like atmosphere for each of the rooms. Some of them are in like upscale type clubs. It's always like a little dark in there. You're playing in like a lot of like nightclubs and swanky bars.
So it is a little bit of a dank pool hall.
It's cool. It's super hip. There would definitely be some of like lo-fi jazz going on here. You know,
Okay.
You would have like
you
would have like an old fashioned sitting like slightly off the frame. Like it's a little bit fancier. And the music too is pretty relaxed. You don't hear it too much, but it's in the background and it adds like a nice ambiance. And what's interesting about this is when I first fired it up, I was like, all right, I just want to do like a quick game, and it actually threw me into multiplayer. And I was like, okay, we're gonna find out how this goes. And I waited. I kind of waited a little bit for a match, and I got matched with the DNA, like the offline ghost of somebody. And I was like, all right, like I didn't know what it was exactly at the time because I just jumped right into the game and didn't realize I was playing the ghost afterwards. It kept accepting my rematches. I was like, man, this guy's friendly. And then I was like, oh, it's a machine. But the game itself, like, you know, you have like a billion different ways to be able to control it, but I play it handheld because I play most of the stuff handheld, just because the portability of the Switch is awesome. And you know, using both of the the Joy-Cons, like the main controls for this have that type of like whatever it's called, where the controls are like reversed. You know, when I move left, it goes right. Inverted, thank you. They're inverted, and there's not a way for you to switch it, which is like, whatever, man. You know, you get used to that as you start to play it, but like I feel like it causes me to kind of like pause or like hesitate, like as I'm like lining everything out.
Choice.
Yeah, because like, you know, I'm used to that for like, you know,
right
like,
should be right. You know?
Yeah. Like I'm used to the inversion part for like an airplane game, you know, like a game where you're flying. That's always kind of inverted. In fact, it's always odd when it's not inverted when you're playing in like a flight sim. But I wasn't really not expecting it for a pool. So it took a little while to get that kind of like taken care of. And the joysticks, like the Joy-Con sticks, they're kind of like, it's not like they're sensitive, but like it's just a little awkward, I feel like, to move the stick to move the pool cue. I mean, it definitely works. It just takes a little while. And playing this online with somebody, like, I feel like they would get kind of impatient with me if I was like taking time to line up the shots. Especially once you get like, you know, when you get like ball in hand, like if you accidentally like scratch on one of the shots and you have to like move the ball all around the table and you're positioning the ball, and you know, you have to pick the ball up by pressing a button and then you put the ball down by pressing the same button again. So there's a lot of moving and positioning that's going around, and if those controls are inverted, the whole thing kind of feels a little weird, you know, because you're spending so much time being like, oh, I meant to go left, I meant to go right, I meant to go forward, like, and everything's kind of like off a little bit. But despite the fact that those controls are like that, the actual gameplay is pretty good once you start going. The one reason I bring up Yahoo Pool as being so cool is that like basically when you lined up a shot in Yahoo Pool, you would get like the line showing where the cue was going, and it would strike another ball, and then they would give you like a small little indication of where that next ball would go. So you had a little bit of like help or assistance in lining up your shots. So it wasn't like you would kind of just like, you know, doing your best to shoot on like a flat pool table, and like, you know, I'm not a math god, all right, man, like I do not, I'm not good. So having that helped. And with this, they kind of do the same type of thing. You get like, as you aim the cue ball and line up your shots, the other ball that you're shooting at, you're going to see like a gilded pathway, like extending, showing you the direction, more or less, in which the ball is going to go. And then you can use the right stick to pull the cue stick back, and you push it forward to hit it. And what was weird is I was like, oh man, I bet you this is going to be odd. I bet you as soon as I push this stick, it's going to like fly forward, or I'm going to have to like slam it. But like, I feel like it was like spot on. I felt like whenever I hit the ball, like I hit it with just as much force as I wanted to. And I don't know if it was dumb luck or like maybe they just absolutely nailed like exactly like, you know, what the controls should feel like, or at least what I feel like it should feel like. I never like completely like over like shot a shot, or even the ones that you're like, oh, I have to apply just the right amount of you know, just the right amount of strength to this, otherwise I'm not going to make it all the way across the table. Like I feel like I was spot on like every time. And this is the first time that I picked it up and played it. I was like this feels good. So they definitely nailed that part. So despite the fact that it might take you a little while to line stuff up, I feel like it's going to pay off because to be able to execute the shots definitely was not difficult. And they also give you the ability to add a little bit of English onto your shots. I feel like you, Mr. Trav, would be like somebody who's like, I gotta add a little bit of English to the shot.
Always,
hold on
always.
here, you know?
Like Beckham, you bend the cue. You bend the ball.
Absolutely. They give you you can adjust that via the touch screen. So you can just they have like a straight on shot of the ball with like a little green dot showing you where you're striking it, and then you can move it around to apply just the right amount. And again, I think that is either, I don't know if the word is like forgiving, but I feel like it's pretty easy to apply to get your desired effect. So I don't know if the game like kind of reacts to like, okay, I'm lining up my shot, it kind of knows where you're trying to put the ball, and then it applies it with the English, so then it just kind of goes like I'm not sure if that kind of works like that and it just helps you along, but like I feel like it was easy to make shots. I was playing this bot, and like, you know, its skill level was over 3,500, which is pretty high in a game. If you win a game, you probably go up like 500 or 600 points. And so this thing was like, you know, it wasn't like the best bot ever, but it was pretty good. It would run the table if you gave it a chance, or come very close to running it, which it did a couple of times. But you know, I was playing against this bot, and I felt like as long as I spent my time and took my time in lining up my shots, like I had a chance. And I think I finished, like I lost like one game less than I won. So like I didn't do bad, and I never felt like I was totally out of it or like I had no shot, because I felt like the controls were good enough that I had a chance to be able to come back. I don't like that you can't use the D-pad. Because lining up some of these shots with the left Joy-Con, I feel like it overshoots sometimes. Like, not in the sense that I'm gonna miss it, but like you know, as I'm lining it up, I'm like, oh, too far, and I have to tap it a little bit. And like if I had the D-pad, I could just click it and almost go like not frame by frame, but like inch by inch over to get it just right and dial it in a little bit quicker. And it's also kind of weird that once you get down to like the 8-ball, because I played 8-ball, once you get down, you don't have to call your pocket, which is very strange. Normally you have to be like, you know, 8-ball, this. Like you even have to do that in Yahoo Pool. You didn't have to do that here in the mode that I was playing. Maybe that's because I started off playing quick play. I bet you as you start to get into the tournaments, that's going to pop up, because I can't imagine that they give you the freedom to not call the pocket. But I was not able to play online against a person. I did get a bot, and I was able to jump in and play right away, but part of the cool thing about this would be being able to play online, get yourself into like, you know, some type of like league or something like that. But I wasn't able to get a match. But this game is $14.99. It's available on the eShop. I feel like it's a really good pool game. The controls like are a little off, but in some ways they're perfect. Like it might take you a while to line up your shots, but when you do, you're gonna get your desired effect, I feel like, for the most part. So I mean, I had a really good time with this. $14.99 for this game with the graphics and the, like, you know, the ease of pickup and play. I feel like that's definitely worth it. It could be a little bit better in some aspects that I talked about, but you know, I feel like I don't want to nitpick it too much. I definitely think this is a 4 out of 5. I had a good time with Pure Pool, and I think you will too.
Very nice.
Yeah,
you weren't hustled by Pure Pool.
Yeah, good job.
As it seems. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I was lucky enough to secure a PS5. So I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the good people over at Ant Online. That's Atlanta Technology Online. Those are the people that I got the bundle from. Crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's a struggle like no other console release has ever been. And the amount of scalping that's going on is unconscionable. I would say I was one of those dudes. I spent 3 weeks, literally, like every day, every 15 minutes, I was like hitting like 7 websites. So I just want to say I got lucky, very, very lucky to be unemployed with a PS5. Good. It's an okay life. And got to play a very interesting and unique game from our good friends over at the Game Bakers. They gave us such great titles, such as Fury and Squid's Odyssey, which you can find on earlier episodes of the Switch It Up show. Be sure to subscribe, rate, like, love, all those things. Leave us comments. Be sure to tell us what you think. Anyway, game I reviewed is Haven. It is currently available. It's $24.99 on the PlayStation 5. It is also available, I believe, on the Steam, GOG, Google, I think is that. I don't know what GOG is. Windows Store, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S. And it is also coming early 2021 to PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. The game is two lovers gave up everything and escaped to a lost planet to be together. Glide through a mysterious landscape, explore a fragmented world, and fight against what's trying to tear them apart in this RPG adventure about love, rebellion, and freedom. Does love really conquer all? You and Kay have escaped to a forgotten planet, leaving everything they knew behind. Play two lovers at the same time as they settle into an unknown world. Explore the planet, looking for parts and material to fix your ship and make it a cozy home. Enjoy moments of everyday life as a relatable couple while cooking meals, crafting, and collecting precious resources to make it to the next day. Fight against those trying to tear you apart by synchronizing actions in combat, finding the perfect timing and rhythm while controlling both characters and battling to keep them and their relationship alive. In this unexpected RPG adventure, explore the beautifully eerie and unstable planet while enjoying the thrilling soundtrack of renowned musician Danger. I actually think I have a track from Danger. Not bragging, just saying. It features two characters that you play at the same time while exploring a fragmented planet. You glide over grass, gather flow, and clean the rust as you explore this dreamy planet and uncover secret areas. Meet the planet's creatures, who are both friends and foes. Fight as the two characters in real time and relying on tactical sense and timing. Immerse yourself in a romantic space adventure, the saga of two lovers trying to stay together against all odds. Play as a relatable couple in an intimate relationship, treated with maturity and humor. It's relatable if you've had a relationship. I just want to throw that out there. I feel like a lot of people might not relate.
Savage. Oh my God.
I'm just saying, this is a good relationship, tentatively.
Listen, people, I believe in you, okay? I bet you have had the best and the healthiest of relationships, okay? I have faith in our listeners.
I hope you're in a very healthy relationship right now. If you are in one, this would be a great game to play with your partner because it is a solo game that can also be played with a friend or a romantic partner. A second player can join or drop out anytime in local co-op to share this adventure. So it would be great if you are in an actual committed and high-functioning relationship. And again, it features a original soundtrack by the renowned electro musician Danger. The music is very good in this game. I'll start out by saying that. The whole experience itself is a very nice one. It's borderline Breath of the Wild in its sort of cell-shaded graphic style. It's interesting. It also gives me a No Man's Sky kind of vibe. It's got a very, teal palette to it. The gameplay itself, I'll say, is a little repetitive, a little clunky. You glide around a lot, and there's a drift feature. But the levels, and they're not necessarily levels, they're just different areas that you come across. They can seem a little repetitive at times. And they are a little cumbersome to even navigate. It gets kind of irritating just trying to figure out where you've got to go. You don't have a map. You get one eventually. But even that, it's not like it's showing you key points of interest, and you just kind of have to glide around. There is a little bit of, I want to say, haste and danger to the game. It's mostly a very casual, free-flowing and floating experience. You're mostly just floating and flying around these islands until you come into these battles where it sort of presents itself like it's a regular RPG, but I kind of feel like it's a little closer to doing like rhythm games. You do control both players at once, and you just kind of have to press the directional sticks in either left, right, up, or down. And then you'll do an attack, and you can have them both go at the same time. But again, you kind of have to time it correctly and release it correctly. Otherwise, it might not necessarily go off. I feel like I was having a difficult time with that. Eventually, after a while, you can get it down to a pretty cool kind of science, and it is satisfying when you have like one guy block for the girl or the girl block for the guy, and then they fly off and punch. It can be super satisfying, but overall, I felt like that was kind of repetitive too, and it was a little clunky. And there's cooking. There is a cooking aspect to this, which can it's kind of cool because that plays into the overall narrative of the game, which is it's really about these two people that were set up to be, match made, because that's how it works in this future society where you were just placed with someone and it's supposed to be like a perfect match, on paper at least. These two people met and they decided to fly off together and damn the establishment and just get to know each other. It's a little odd that they go dive in so head first. And they're just like, we're gonna throw away everything. I just think you are awesome. Let's go for it. And then the game is just you experiencing this relationship and making these different choices. It gets very risque at times. It really, really does. And it's cool. Like, I don't know. Something about this game is very earnest and it feels very true to people and their reactions. The choices that you're presented with maybe aren't necessarily presented in a way that, would make you think this is how they're going to say it. But maybe that's me. Maybe that's my personality defects. Overall, the game, I think it took me about like 12 hours, something like that. 13. Like I said, I'm unemployed. So I believe I did play through the entire thing. You're
like, I don't even know time anymore.
I don't even know, bro. Let me tell you, I woke up today at like 6 a.m. I stayed up for 3 hours, I think, until like 10 or 9, and then I went back to bed until 1 p.m.
I gotta say,
that was my day.
You're always like I'm always surprised because we usually talk through text for most of the day usually. Oh yeah, and I'm always surprised because I'm like why is my dude up? Like you'll send me a message at like 5:45, 6 a.m. and I'm like, why are you awake? Like you could be asleep right now.
I could, but the animals, they don't let me, and I'm so still like wired from my federal job that I held for over a year. That I'm just like, I need to be ready to go at a moment's notice.
Anytime.
I still kind of think they're going to call me and be like, you screwed up, bro. But anyway, back to the game. I thought it was good. Overall, it was a very, very good experience. However, the actual play of it can be a little clunky. Because of that, I'm going to give Haven a 4 out of 5. Because I want to bet on love, amazingly enough.
good, man. Like I saw the preview for that game, and I feel like they teased some videos for it when it was first announced, or maybe I just saw screen caps of it, and the graphics on it look really good. I mean, it's on the PS5.
Voice acting is top notch. It really is. They really, really bring the heart to this one. It's legitimately one of the most heartwarming sort of experiences I've had in a game in a long time. And I really, really commend them for taking the chance on doing something that you don't really ever see presented in games very much, which is a normal sort of functioning relationship where you're getting to know someone and their habits and interests and quirks. It's very cool how they present it all. And if that's, what you're into, definitely try it out.
So I'm a lot more realistic than the visual novels that we've come to enjoy here on the Switch. So, although I feel like there were a couple that weren't so
it's
so
no
wild.
seabed, I'll tell you that much.
That's it, my man. Well, that is going to do it for this episode, and I'm sure we're going to have another one very soon as we get back a little bit more into the swing of things here in this crazy pandemic holiday extravaganza time that we find ourselves in. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, if things ever get a little bit too overwhelming, or if you ever find yourself bored or you just don't know what to do, you can always switch it up.